What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon, you guys. It is the 14th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $573 with 9 hours and 54 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, my friends. I said 9 hours and 54 minutes left in the day, but it's also 9 hours, 54 minutes left in this week. We are at the very end of the week. It is Sunday. And right now, I think what we're doing is fine. I think it's perfectly fine. If we look at this on a daily time frame, first off, actually, since we are on the weekly, we're down 4.3%. It's not that big of a deal. Where we're wicking down to find support was right where we were at resistance before. We were once wicking up here to find resistance. Now we're wicking down to find support where we exactly were before. I mean, dude, we are it's inevitable, y'all. It's inevitable. I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if Bitcoin by the end of today, like over the next 12 hours, was back above like 91K or even above 92K. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we got a BART-like move to the upside. And with that, Bitcoin Cash likely moves up too. It's completely possible that in the next 10 hours, Bitcoin Cash closes this week out green. We might have our fourth green week in a row to close here, but we'll see. Even if it closes red, who cares? But daily time frame, do we want to look? We'll come back to the daily time frame. Let's use the 1 hour time frame. By the way, if you're looking at Bitcoin Cash, you're doing analysis on Bitcoin Cash, you should be using the Coinbase chart. It is the perfect chart because it has the most history out of any chart on TradingView for Bitcoin Cash as far as price action goes, and it has volume. It's the all-time history, plus it's got volume. And Coinbase isn't the biggest exchange in the world, but number two. Yeah, it's number two. For Bitcoin Cash, I think it actually has more volume regularly than Binance does. Anyways, moving sideways. Kind of like what Bitcoin's been doing since Friday, except you don't have this massive dump in your face, right? Like here, this thing is moving sideways, but very, very boring. Bitcoin Cash has been moving sideways, but it's a little bit more of a range. A little bit more of a range. A lot of volume coming in over the past few hours. We didn't go anywhere. I'm 100% confident that this thing moves to the upside. I would be surprised if we broke down. I would not be discouraged. If we get a surprise to the downside, I'm going to say ho, 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 because Christmas came early and we're able to buy Bitcoin Cash at cheaper prices. That's not a bad thing. There are a few things that I don't know what word to use. I don't want to be offensive. Let's just say super overly ridiculously confident on in this world. Bitcoin Cash is one of them, man. I have absurd. It's borderline irresponsible, the level of confidence I have with Bitcoin Cash. It's again, I would be surprised if we broke to the downside. But even if we do, great, right? It's like we're so confident that it doesn't matter. Go down, go up. We're happy either way. We're happy we're making money. We're happy we have the opportunity to make money, whatever it is. But I highly doubt. All I'm really trying to say is I think that we're going to break to the upside. I highly doubt we break out to the downside from here. If all that volume couldn't push you down, if Bitcoin's seeing lower lows and flash crashing couldn't push you down on Sunday, on the weekend, whenever it's easier to move price around, yeah, you're not moving down, man. You're going to move up. Absolutely. 1 hour time frame RSI is bullish overall. It's reluctantly bullish. You're trying to get overbought, but you just won't do it. You won't get oversold. You have higher lows overall. You're pretty weird here, but what I will say is you have this lower low, lower high trend. Remember, we were talking about that yesterday. You've actually broken out of it. You have broken out of it. It's very uncommon to break out of downtrends before getting oversold. It's very uncommon. Maybe I should say it differently. It's most common. The typical practice or assumption here is that if you have a downtrend, it does not end until you're in the oversold zone. So whenever you do something that's outside that norm, it's because typically you're in a more bullish environment than normal. You can be in a bullish environment and still be in a downtrend, right? Get into your oversold zone, move up, and by the time you're up in the overbought zone, you're higher than your last high, while when you're in your oversold zone, you're getting a higher low than your last low. But it's like you can still be in a bullish environment and be in one of these downtrends. You know, it's just a corrective phase. But whenever you break out of the downtrend, like we did here, before you get oversold, that's typically in a very bullish environment. And it makes sense that we'd be in a very bullish environment right now because we are about to break through, guys. We are about to probably say sayonara to any price that's ever below $600. Again, today might be the last day. The 14th of December could very well be the last day that any human alive in this lifetime has the opportunity to buy Bitcoin Cash below $600. And if it's not today, whatever. That's not a call. I'm just saying it might be today. It could be today. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's 3 weeks from now, but soon enough. The final days, and I doubt it's 3 weeks from now. I bet we close out this year around 1,000 or higher. But Soon enough, 600 and lower, it's a thing of the past. Soon enough, 1,000 and below is going to be a thing of the past that only a small portion of humanity was able to gain access to. Not able to. We're all able to, I suppose, but took the opportunity when it was there. It takes balls to hop on a sleeping dragon and expect something out of it. Takes balls, right? You hop on a sleeping dragon and you're like, all right, make me rich. That's not how it works. Just maybe ask, don't get burned. But we're asking this thing to not burn us and to make us rich. It's going to be great. Absolutely. Some people get offended when I say that. Whenever I say we're investing to make money. So I'm investing for the technology. Well, yeah, I'm investing for the technology too, but I'm not pompous or lying, right? We're all here to make money. The whole reason where any of us are investing or putting money in is to make money. That's the whole reason, right? It's not I shouldn't say the whole reason, but it's a good bit of it, right? I doubt this market would be nearly as interesting if people were just losing. Well, if nobody won money at least. 4 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame does look a bit bearish here, I will say, with the stochastics, but you're also at a point to bounce. The RSI gives me a lot of hope that we're going to move up from here, but if, of course, we're at 573, we could move lower. Maybe we don't full on break down from here, but because of the RSI, I would think that even though I am expecting that we move up, we could still move down a little bit. The RSI would allow for that. If we were to move down a little bit, we could even see a lower low before moving up, but I don't think that we're going to break out terribly. Stochastics are basically reset, and the MACD is useless on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame here. The RSI is pretty useless as well. It's very neutral. It's truly like neutral to its core. There is a more bullish posturing than a bearish posturing, but it's very neutral. I mean, to say it's more bullish than bearish, what, like 51% bullish, 49% bearish? Like it's that close. The stochastics have reset, which is nice. But if we look back at all these times that we found support on our price with our stochastics, we don't typically just bounce right off the oversold zone like this. We typically actually get into the oversold zone. So maybe slightly lower prices are to be expected over the coming hours. But again, we're right at our low, if not just almost there. You know, maybe we go a little bit lower, but we're very, very close. The MACD does make me a little bit bullish. There's some bullish implications here. Even though we're crossing red, we've crossed above the zero, and I think it really is time to run, but anything can happen. Do be open-minded if we were to pull back down to even 553 or even below these lows. That's not what I would expect to happen, but even if that does happen, we will likely come back up and break out of this to the upside. I highly doubt that we get too far away from these lows. I'm not even expecting that we go down there to begin with, but if it happens, just don't be thrown off, right? It could definitely happen. We're still in this area of consolidation. It's not a big deal. But the 1 hour makes me think that we don't go, if we were to go lower, the 1 hour suggests that we'd go a little bit lower, not a lot lower. The 1 hour actually makes me think more so that we're near a low point that we're going to move up. The 4 hour, we're basically reset there as well. We look at the daily time frame. The daily RSI is bullish as hell. The stochastics are very bullish, and the daily MACD, though we have just crossed red, is actually at a good point to reverse as well. These false crosses like this one here are typically good moments right before where Bitcoin Cash actually starts to really kick things off. Like right here, you had a false cross. Okay, you moved down a little bit, right? You still had a higher low overall, and then you moved up. Look at how vibrant you were for 3 days there. I mean, this week should be good. I really do. I am forecasting this to be a false cross. We'll see. We might not even have a false cross if today comes up by the end of the day and we close green enough. I mean, we might not even have a false cross, but whether it's a false cross or a, like this, like a false cross like this or like this, or we're just getting very, very close to touching, getting close to crossing, but then we touch and we bounce. Well, whatever the case is, it's the same reaction. It's very bullish. So I think we're at a good place to continue moving higher. Any downside from here is going to be very insignificant and short-lived. And I'm amazed entirely that we're even below $600 right now to begin with. So buy the dip, buy Bitcoin Cash while you can at these levels. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but we are literally about to send it, I think, to prices that are well above this last cycle's high. In this context, from the high to the low. Oh, come on. Come on, we're going to get, there we go, high to low. I think the expectation should be something around 36.50 to maybe even $6,000, right? Or even above 6,000, because it's very common to wick above the 1414 and find resistance there, not to stop right at it, but to find resistance just above the 1414. It's also very common to stop right at the 1272. And there's all kinds of fibs. We've got all kinds of stuff to help give us targets, from anything from 2300, 2700 all the way up to 6700, whatever. But I feel like you take the last cycle's high to the bear market low, those fib extensions right there, keep it simple. I mean, that just makes sense. That's probably exactly where we're going to go. I would not be surprised in the least. I really wouldn't be surprised at all. There's going to be a whole world of people who are surprised, but not us, if Bitcoin Cash does just from here move up to new all-time highs altogether before consolidating for a more serious amount of time. Anyways, that's the game plan over the more long term. I should even say the midterm. And the short term stuff, we've already gone over that. So I don't think I have anything else to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.